Hey, have you ever wanted to play Dragon so bad you dipped your cheese puffs in liquid nitrogen? Do you see American Dragon Jake Long as less of a short-lived Disney Channel show and more like a step-by-step guide to living your best life? Well, congratulations! You might be an Ascendant Dragon. But what is an Ascendant Dragon? Well, boot up that old copy of Spyro, stash away as much cash as you can get your hands on, and crank up the Dragon soundtrack because... wait, you don't know any Dragon songs? Hold on, I got the good shit. No, I said the good shit.
Dragon tales, it's almost time for dragon tales. Come along, take my hand.
You know, some say imitation is the highest form of flattery. Well, if that's true, dragons must be pretty damn flattered, because it seems like every third subclass in this game is somehow dragon-themed. But while other subclasses take inspiration from dragon magic or let you ride on a dragon's baby cousin, you've tapped into the natural draconic nature of squaring the f*** up. That's right, for some reason the monks who practiced the way of the Ascendant Dragon took a glance at these scaly, fire-breathing behemoths and thought to themselves, yeah, I bet that thing can throw hands. But I mean, can I really argue with results? You see, the Ascendant Dragon Monk is not only one of the best monk subclasses in the game, but it comes packed to the brim with all that free-range dragon flavor. And while I've spatted in the past with folks who have a distaste for monks, I hope we can at least see eye to eye on this one, as it's, you know, awesome. So let's just skip the part where I talk about how I think monks are okay and just get to the jokes, alright? You guys know I do have a tendency to drag on. But first, are you like me, a visual thinker? Does your D&D experience include maps, tokens, and of course, plenty of art? Well, if this sounds like you, then you need to check out today's sponsor, James's RPG Art. James's RPG Art makes incredible animated scenes to flesh out environments and give your players the immersion they crave. Never before have real D&D adventures been recreated in such stunning detail with over 300 scenes with animated GIFs included. Eagle-eyed fans will pick up on locations from your favorite cities like Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate, or if your adventures sweep you to the cursed lands of Barovia, you'll get 60 unique images to bring that adventure to life. To get in on this stellar work, you can access the link below and support James's RPG Art on his Patreon, and just like me, have access to hundreds of scenes for as little as $1. But these aren't just for show. All of this art is 100% compatible with your favorite VTTs like Roll20 or Foundry, and are easy to drop in and start playing. So if you need a little more immersion in your immersive role-playing, head on over to the link below and join James's RPG Art Patreon today. Just remember, tell him Yumba sent you. A huge thank you to James's RPG Art for sponsoring the show, and now, back to the video. So you want to practice your footwork by learning the dragon dance. Well, no one is more agile on their tootsies than the good old monk. Monks get a range of abilities that focus on their slap and run playstyle, letting you hop into the mix to cause some damage and hop back out when things get sticky. Like unarmored defense, making their AC equal to 10 plus their dex and wisdom mods, as well as martial arts, letting you use your dex for unarmed strikes, doing a d4 of damage with those hits, and letting you spend a bonus action for an additional attack if you took the attack action. And while not being the center of attention in each encounter isn't very dragony, pimp smacking someone who got a little too close to your treasure is. But at second level we also get Ki. Ki comes in the form of Ki points that can be spent to do a variety of things like Step of the Wind to dash or disengage as a bonus action, Patient Defense to take the dodge action as a bonus action, and Flurry of Blows to take 2 attacks as a bonus action instead of 1. You get more Ki points as you level up a monk, and they revive on a short rest, so remember to save them up for when you need them most, or just dump it all in one fight and take a nap at the bottom of a deep, dark, scary mountain to get it all back for next round. You also get unarmored movement for an extra 10 feet to your speed while not wearing armor, and dedicated weapons so you can focus your ki on a weapon you're proficient in and make it a monk weapon for you. But why would you want to carry anything around? Would you look at those guns? You are the weapon. But it's third level where we finally become a draconic disciple. Your order has worked diligently to learn the ways of the ancient dragons, whether malevolent or benevolent, and hone them into a fighting style that works for you. Figuring this out has granted the draconic disciple the draconic presence, allowing you to re-roll a failed persuasion or intimidation roll once per day, because everyone knows it's a bad idea to, disagree with a dragon. You can also read and speak Draconic, letting you interpret what the ancient chromatic dragons really meant by "eat the puny humans, take their treasure," and find its hidden meaning. But finally, you get the Draconic Strike, letting you focus your ki into some draconic magic to change the nature of your unarmed strikes. These can take the damage types of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison, and also scale with your martial arts die, so your monk becomes and then is quickly fired as the new spokesperson for Icy Hot after they simultaneously freeze and then sear handprints into the faces of their enemies. But you wouldn't be truly imitating a dragon if you didn't get some Dragon's Breath. This breath can take the place of any one of your attacks and deals 2 rolls of your martial arts die in a 20-foot cone or a 30-foot line, and can take on the damage of any of the same elemental types as your draconic strikes. You get a number of these breath attacks equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all uses on a long rest, making this a very powerful attack option, especially for large groups of enemies. And it continues to get better as you level up, bouncing up to 3 martial arts die rolls at level 11. Meaning this version of the Dragon Breath attack may be the best version so far, outpacing the spell in terms of power and utility, and just destroying the natural breath attack of the Dragonborn. Sorry guys, why don't my boys ever get any love? But you also get plenty of regular old monk stuff like deflect missiles to snatch arrows, bullets, or stray javelins out of the air, and then spending a ki point to yeet it back, and ki fueled attack to make a bonus action attack if you spent ki but didn't take the attack action. At 4th level you get slow fall, making sure you never take falling damage from pretty much any height, which sounds like some ancient monk technique to center your ki right before you touch the ground, but in my mind you just fart out a cone of fire under your tush to slow the descent. And quickened healing to spend a couple ki to get some health back, but hey, look at that, we've already forgotten about this one. 5th level gets us that extra attack, making that 2 attacks per round, or 3 with a bonus action, or 4 with a flurry of blows. But we can also spend all that sweet ki to do the monk's signature ability, the Stunning Strike. This lets you focus your ki to interrupt the enemy body's natural rhythm and force a constitution save to stun them for an entire round. But then you can take all your next punches at advantage and reapply the Stunning Strike every round until you're out of ki points. Like I said, this is one of the best abilities the monk gets, period, as it can potentially stun lock most enemies out of a fight and make the DM constantly rewrite campaigns to have unstunnable enemies littered all over the game. But remember, this stun only takes 1 of your attacks, so you can stun on the first one, then fire breath, which they fail to save for automatically, and then follow up with 2 more punches. And who said the monk wasn't a good class? Just remember, when you're fighting one-on-one, aim low. You also get focused aim, which lets you spend ki to turn misses into hits, but don't do that, you get like 100 punches a turn, just keep hitting, you're bound to get one off. 6th level gets you ki empowered strikes, making all your attacks magical, so you can finally punch werewolves, ghosts, and werewolf ghosts. But if only we could fly like a werewolf ghost. Oh well. But we can fly like a dragon. With wings unfurled, your monk magically sprouts a pair of spectral dragon wings anytime you use your Step of the Wind ability, giving you a flying speed equal to your walking speed for 1 turn. You can use these a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, which regains on a long rest, but imagine the chaos you can pull off with a set of these. Your already speedy monk just became a flying blitzkrieg, cannonballing bad guys from across the map, or if you tip proficiency in athletics, you can use your flight to wrap one up and pull off the world's nastiest seismic toss.
Yo, holy shit, he dead!
At 7th level, we get evasion to sidestep even the worst fireballs or dragon's breath abilities, taking no damage on successful dex saves and only half damage on a failure, as well as stillness of mind to end charming or frightening effects by spending an action and concentrating on how awesome dragons are, I guess. That always makes me feel better. At 9th level, we can run over water and straight up trees like some Naruto shit, and at 10th level, we become immune to diseases and poisons because who's ever heard of a dragon coming down with the sniffles? But it's 11th level where we dig deep into our dragon soul to bring forth the aspects of the worm.
We are worms!
No, not that kind of worm, like a big worm.
It was an Alaskan bullworm!
Close enough. But this gives us the ability to tap into some draconic auras to spend a bonus action for one of 2 effects. You can either use the Frightful Presence to force one creature inside the aura to become afraid of you if they fail a wisdom save once per round, or give yourself and allies within the aura resistance to one type of damage between acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. Either way you go, this is a major buff for a close range fighter and allows the monk more versatility in what they can do. 13th level gets you Tongue of the Sun and Moon to be able to speak to any creature in any language. 14th level grants you proficiency in all saving throws and lets you spend a ki point to reroll a failed save, and 15th level gives you a timeless body so that old age will never slow you down and you no longer need food or water, just sustaining yourself on ki, a lot of grit, and unbridled big dragon energy. But finally, at 17th level, we get our last draconic abilities with Ascendant Aspect. This immediately grants you blind sight to a range of 10 feet, so you can see in that range even if blinded, and can spawn invisible creatures in that area. You also get your Explosive Fury to do 3d10 of elemental damage anytime you activate your aura from Aspect of the Worm, forcing a dex save on any creatures you choose within that circle. But the coup de grace of this level is your ability to augment your breath. Now you can spend 1 key point anytime you use your breath attack to extend the range to a 60-foot cone or a 90-foot line, upping the damage to 4 rolls of your martial arts die, which at this level are a d10, making it almost as good as a red dragon's fire breath, right? Let's see, 40-10 or 26d6. Holy shit. Okay, so it's not that good, but it's still pretty great for just one of your attacks per round. But rounding off the monk stuff, you get Empty Body at 18th level to spend 4 key points to become invisible for a minute, or spend 8 key points to cast Astral Projection on yourself so you can follow those werewolf ghosts home and whoop their ass in front of their families. And finally, at 20th level, we get 4 key points anytime we roll initiative. It's stupid, it sucks, and it makes me mad. Why can't we just give the monk something great right at the end? Who wrote this shit and said it was okay? But does the Ascended Dragon ascend past its monk brothers? Duh. This is one of those subclasses that just makes you say f*** yeah at each new ability and finally shows the monk some love with that elemental damage. I understand the frustrations people have with monks. Believe me, I actually do. The main complaint I always hear is that the good monk abilities are always too expensive to spend key points on and just don't do the amount of damage you'd expect for that vital amount of resources. Especially things like Step of the Wind, which many agree should just be a bonus action, plain and simple, like the Rogue. And while I personally don't have a problem with this because monks get more speed than any class in the game anyway, I think this subclass gives you the incentive to spend key on more than just Flurry of Blows every round, especially with your new dragon wings. Using Step of the Wind at 20th level gets you a flying speed of 120 feet per round and lets you outpace actual dragons. And because a lot of your cooler abilities like your Dragon Breath or your auras just happen without having to spend key, you can then focus it on other effects and make the most of your dip and dunk playstyle. This is just a good subclass, and I hope that people give it a chance even if they don't think monks are that great, because I truly think this may be one of the best subclasses D&D has put out in a hot minute. I'll be honest, not everything I review in this series is going to be something I love, but that Fizban's book, man, that shit was straight fire. But what else can I say? In a way, is this subclass kind of an apology for the 4 Elements monk with its good damage and better all-around feel? Kinda, but it does plenty to establish itself from the other monk subclasses, making it an absolute monster of an NPC and a menace for a DM. If you were going to multi-class, I'd say only do a dip with Fighter being the most obvious choice for Action Surge, so you can spit acid into a guy's eyes and then do a second breath to freeze them shut, but that's just me. So if you can fly so fast you have to worry about breaking the sound barrier, you can belt a burp so rancid it melted the flesh off several faces, and are the reason Acid, Fire, Lightning, or Poison props are no longer allowed at the biggest nationwide cons, guess what? You might be an Ascendant Dragon. Hey guys, thanks once again for watching. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like or comment. It just helps the channel grow and does algorithm stuff, I guess. Nobody knows how this YouTube stuff works. But more cool videos are coming up real soon, so be ready for that, and I'll see you then.